Hey, we are so excited to have you guys join us for this sneak peek into coaching. This is Jaylyn and Brianna. And anyway, we just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about why we started coaching and then what this journey has meant for us and what coaching all involves. So Jaylyn.
Okay, so we are going to start and we are going to share some slides with you. So let's get that started. Okay, so that's us. That's what Brianna just said. She just introduced us. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm a 2-star qualifying diamond coach. I am a wife and a mom of 4 kids. My oldest is 8, my youngest is 1. And I am a former photographer. I still do it here and there just for personal use now, which is awesome because it makes it a lot more fun when it's not so much pressure. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I do this on the side. And I wanted to tell you a little bit how I got started as a coach. I started in January of this year. I was at my lowest point as far as I just was very unhappy. We were very, very stressed financially, and it kind of just came to a boiling point, and I knew I needed to do something different. So I reached out to my coach, and I jumped right in. And it has changed my life, and we will talk about some more of that later. But it's been an amazing opportunity for me to grow personally and to better myself, and it's bettered my family situation, and it's strengthened relationships with my husband and my kids, and then also it's strengthened relationships with friends I've had forever that have now been reconnected through coaching and through them deciding to coach or just being my challengers. So that is me in a nutshell, and now we'll let Brianna introduce her.
Okay, perfect. So I am a diamond coach. I started the mid of November, and I am a mom of 3. I joke that sometimes my hubby is my 4th child, but I have a kid that ranges from 6 to 10 months, and they are seriously my family is everything for me. I too used to be a former photographer. I don't do the business side at all anymore. I just still photograph my family. I'm a dreamer, doer, lover of life, and motivator. I always have loved motivating people, and I have to be busy. I feel like I'm happiest when I'm busy. And I just feel like life has so much to offer and so many blessings that that is something that I feel like I've been blessed to be able to focus on that. How I got started was, I used to be into health and fitness quite a bit, and then I just kind of slacked big time. We, through the last couple of years, we had multiple miscarriages, and we had been going the adoption route, and all 3 of my kids are adopted, and it was just kind of like an emotional roller coaster a little bit that I think I just fell off the wagon of working out. And so I put on a little bit of weight, nothing extreme, but about an extra 25, 30 pounds. But more than that, I was just stressed and unhappy. And finances the last 2 years had been a little bit difficult. And one night I was laying in bed with my husband, and he said that we weren't going to make it that month. And I just kind of lost it. And because we had already had around a year earlier with the job layoff that put us through some financial stress. And at that time I had quit my photography business, and that was something that we relied on to bring in some extra income. And I wasn't doing anything, and I was kind of feeling guilty. My husband was gone out of work during the week, and I didn't want anything that I had to leave my kids. So I reached out to a girl who kept posting these really annoying positive things about working out and how amazing life was, and it made a difference, you know those people that post like that. And I was like, there's got to be something to this. So I reached out to her and I said, tell me more. I knew working out would make me feel better, but there was just something more that she was doing that I wanted to hear about. And so I talked to her for a short time, and she kept sending me videos to look at, and I didn't even look at them. I called her back and I said, I just want to do this. I want to do this because I am okay with jumping in with both feet. It sounds amazing. I'm in. So I called my husband and said, guess what? You know how we weren't going to make it this month. I just added to that and just put some money on the credit card. But I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me. I need this change. I will make it back, and we'll figure it out. And it was seriously, it was a blessing in our life because I needed that change emotionally and mentally. And the weights come off, which was just a bonus, but that's not why I started. And anyway, so this whole journey has been a godsend for our family.
Okay, so about Beachbody products. Most of you have heard of Beachbody products, whether you realize they're Beachbody products or not. A lot of people, when they ask, what do you do? And you say Beachbody coach, they're like, okay, what is that? And then all you have to say is, have you heard of Insanity or P90X? And I don't think anybody has not heard of those. So these Beachbody products are very common. They're still on infomercials late at night, and so a lot of people still hear about them from TV. They're featured in the media, and they're used by celebrities like Ashton Kutcher and Missy Elliott and Sheryl Crow, and so there's a whole slew of celebrities that even use these. They're often in magazines, and they're on TV and talk shows. So this isn't something new, and it's not something that no one has heard of. A lot of times everybody has heard of Beachbody. They just have no idea that they're actually hearing of Beachbody because they just hear of P90X or Insanity or, you know, Brazil butt lift and stuff like that. So that's just a little bit of the Beachbody products that I'm sure you guys have heard about.
Okay, so this month, it's, every month they have different programs that they call a challenge pack, and it's what that includes is your Shakeology and a workout program, which we're going to go into a little bit later in the slideshow. But every month they have it on sale, and these are the two that are on sale this month. The 21-Day Fix, which is the #1 selling program with Beachbody right now, and then Size is the one that was just released this month, and it's super fun. The reason that 21-Day Fix is one of the top sellers is because of their portion control meal plan. And it's truly amazing because a lot of people, they can work out and they won't lose the weight. And a lot of times it's because they're not understanding how to properly fuel their body and what their body needs to make it run correctly and have that weight kind of shed itself off. And so that's why the 21-Day Fix is amazing. And it's Jalen's Jam. She's probably going to talk about that a little bit more. And Size, again, is just one to just let you relax and have fun. You're working up a sweat and you don't even realize that you're working up a sweat. I mean, the other day I was laughing because I just had like sweat dripping down my back. It was so gross, but I was having so much fun. And my cute little 8-year-old niece was doing with me and my sister. And anyways, so it's just really fun to get the whole family involved. Now, why these programs are so awesome, when you decide to become a coach, you sign up and you get a coach account. You get your challenge pack, and then you automatically have the products in your hands to begin trying them out, talking to other people about it, and it's just a really great way to get started. The nice thing about Size is that it also mimics the 21-Day Fix plan. So they have realized that this plan works, and they are implementing it in a lot of the programs.
Okay. Coaches think outside the box. I know that a lot of people have like in their head what they think a coach is, or they instantly think MLM and they kind of just disregard it. But coaches, this is like to dispel the myth of what coaches are and are not. We're going to make that clear. Coaches are customers that love the product. So a lot of times people start out as challengers and then they fall in love with the product and they want to keep doing it and they want to share with their family and friends. And so this isn't something that we're not using. Coaches are customers that love the products. I use 21-Day Fix. Like Brianna said, it is like my jam. I love it. And I will use it the rest of my life. And it's something that I want to share with others. And so it's something that I love and I will always continue to do. We are everyday average people. We're not fitness models, although it would be awesome to be a fitness model. I'd love to be a fitness model, but I'm not. And you'll see that most coaches are not. We're just like you. A lot of us are stay-at-home moms. A lot of us are stressed financially. A lot of us feel like we're not putting ourselves first, and we're frustrated with our weight or our emotional state or our mental state. Like, there's so much that goes on, and we're those people. And this is just something that helps us enhance our lives. And so we're just like everybody else. We're nothing fancy. All we do is help others reach their goals. So we don't do anything, like I said, special or fancy. We simply share our journey and what we're doing, and it helps others along the way, and we find out what they need and what they want, and we help them get to their goals. And we lead by example. Because we are a customer who uses the product, we are leading by example. We aren't telling people to do one thing while we do something else. We lead by example. We are not sales professionals, but you can be. A lot of people have sell-oriented careers and then they jump into coaching. We're not nutritionists. Some are. These programs were designed by dietitians and nutritionists, and so we don't have to have that specialty to be a coach. The systems are already designed that way, which is so nice because it doesn't require us to have that special education. And then personal trainers. There are several coaches in our team that are personal trainers, and this is fantastic. This is a way for them to enhance their job. And a lot of people, they only have so many hours in a day as a personal trainer, and they can only meet with so many clients. This is a way for them to be able to help more people at the same time. They can be running these challenge groups on Facebook that we'll talk about later, while they're also being a personal trainer. So you're not limited to having to be these three things: sales professional, nutritionist, and personal trainers. You can be just an average person and make a coach. So we want you to understand that you do not have to have any sort of special training to be a coach. You simply just have to love the product and share your journey.
Jalen, can I add on that really quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so it's interesting because I have a lot of people that will come to me and say, well, I want to be a coach because I love this, but I want to lose my weight first. And so I just wanted to touch base on that because I even felt the same way when I started. I thought, oh, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to share until I get to where I want to be. And that is the amazing thing about coaching is you don't have to be where your ideal size right now. And it's a process, and people love to see that journey because they see you doing it and then they want to do it with you. And I think that was something that I didn't quite understand until I started it. And then I was like, that makes sense, because guess what? My journey is going to inspire other people too, and not go, oh, I got here and I know I didn't share any of that with you, but trust me on this. And so that's just another thing, is you don't have to be where you want to be a coach too. Like, some of the most motivating people or the most motivating coaches are the ones that are doing their transformation right before your eyes.
Right. I think, like Brianna said, it's the process and the journey that people connect with. They don't connect with a picture of where you have six-pack abs at the very end of your journey. It almost makes it hard for them to think that they can do it. So do not ever think that because you're not at your goal, ideal body, shape, weight, or whatever, that you can't do it. Because people, for some who aren't there yet, that's totally discouraging. At the same time, those who are already fitness, and into it and already in shape, they have those who need the coach that is motivating like that too. So there's a niche for every single person. So don't think that you have to be super fit or you can't be at your goal weight. Like, that has nothing to do with it. It's all about you sharing what you do, and that's what inspires people. Okay. As you all know, we have a massive health crisis in our nation. It's not a surprise. We have 2/3 of all U.S. adults are overweight or obese. 2/3 or 2/5 of U.S. children are obese or overweight, which is really, really sad. 200 million people are unhealthy, and I have some other stats I want to read. Out of 17 of the overall global countries in the whole world, we are ranked 17, which is horrible. So out of the top 17 global power company or countries, we are 17. We are only 4% of the world's population, yet we use 50% of all pharmaceutical drugs. As of 2012, 326 billion people are on prescription drugs. 75% of all of our health care is for chronic diseases. 90 to 96% of all of these chronic diseases, which are like your cancers and other diseases that seem to have no cure, they are preventable. And this is from the CDC. They have agreed that 90 to 96% of these chronic diseases are preventable by your lifestyle. So your lifestyle includes your diet, your exercise, and your mental health. And so that's why it's really important that we are coaches. There are people who need us, and we want to share how they can help their situation and possibly reverse some of these chronic diseases or prevent these chronic diseases.
Okay, so these are just some of the programs and our transformations. So, you know, fitness plus nutrition plus support equals success. And what we do as coaches is when you have the workout programs, you have the nutrition, which is our Shakeology, and we love, I say we because I know Jalen and I are both like obsessed with it. And then the support, we run challenge groups, and those challenge groups are so fun. It's fun to just see like everybody get involved and the support system and the little cheerleading system that goes on. So it's fun. Jalen, do you want to talk about your transformation just a little bit?
Yes. So like I said, I started in January, and what actually made Beachbody and 21 Day Fix appealing for me was a couple years ago, I had my third child, and when I nursed, I gained weight, and I had her when my oldest was still 3. And so I was like, I never got back to pre-pregnancy weight in between any of my kids. I was super frustrated. I had kind of watched my calories and restricted carbs like severely, and I lost 20 pounds, but then I plateaued and I could not lose any more, and I had no idea what was going on. So I went to a nutritionist, and I lost the rest of my baby weight after my third child, and I felt amazing, and it showed me how important your diet is when you want to lose weight. At the time, I didn't exercise at all, which I was super happy about because I didn't like to exercise. I danced my whole life, so size is super awesome because it's like another one of my jams now. But at the time, I was super excited about that. Now I understand how important exercise is, but at the time, I was just happy that I had gotten to my goal weight strictly off of diet. So when I had hit this hard spot again, I was nursing now my 4th child. I had gained a ton of weight. I was back over what I weighed when I delivered him. He was 9 months old at the time, and I was just done. I had tried to do the nutritionist diet, which is actually very similar to 21 Day Fix. It was just way more restrictive than 21 Day Fix is, and I paid way more money for it. But because I was nursing, I tried to do it, and my milk supply completely dipped, and so I couldn't do it. So it frustrated me even more. So when I looked into 21 Day Fix and Shakeology, I thought, you know what? He's 9 months. I've done my best. I can't handle this anymore. It is what it is if I lose my milk supply. Maybe that's a horrible thing, but I was done. So I got 21 Day Fix, and I started it, and my milk supply never dipped. And I was shocked because literally it was the same program I'd used with my nutritionist as far as calories and same amount of protein and fats and carbs, and yet I was maintaining my milk supply, and it was all because of Shakeology. That was the only thing I had changed. And I was able to nurse my son until he was 14 months old. So I was shocked at how amazing Shakeology was and how amazing 21 Day Fix was. I have now lost 34 pounds as of this morning, 34 pounds and over 50 inches. And this was just since January. And I have had over a month's worth of vacations with family reunions in Disneyland and Nashville. And so this isn't something that has restricted my life to where I can't enjoy it. 21 Day Fix teaches you how to eat correctly for the rest of your life. It teaches you how to have cheat meals. It teaches you what you need to do to actually make it a lifestyle change without feeling like you're deprived. And so it was huge for me. And in the process, what's that?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. In the process of losing the weight, it improved my mental state. And like I said, the coaching was a huge part of that because I was able to connect, and it got me out of my mommyhood rut. And you guys will see our why videos later that go into more detail, but this was for sure a success and a win for me. And now Brianna's going to tell you about hers.
Okay. So I actually, when I started with Insanity Max 30. So these, I'm realizing I need to do my updated after photos because I've done programs since then. But what I loved about this program starting out is I was kind of nervous because I broke my back when I was 8. I was in a car accident and the car flipped and I was thrown out. And so I had a fractured back, and I have just had a lot of pain from it. And I think, like, you know how when you're in high school you think you're invincible and you can do anything, and so I did, and obviously, like, it kind of caught up with me. The older I've gotten, the more I've realized I didn't take care of my body like I should have with sports and dancing and everything. And so there were days that I was literally like crawling to bed because I was just in so much pain. And so when I started Insanity Max 30, I was kind of nervous because I thought, I don't know if I can do this. I also believe that, you know, even just the extra weight was putting some strain on my back. And so I did the modifier the entire time. And some people are like, oh, the modifier, like, that's so easy and that's wing sauce. But like for me, that's what I needed. And so in that 60 day of the program, I lost 18 inches and 3 pant sizes. And I don't know, like for me, it was just, I lost my love handles. I firmed up like in my shoulders and stuff like that, in my arms. But I felt amazing, and that was the thing. And I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but on your before picture, you look like a ghost or an alien. I'm not sure what's going on with that face. Like, no, I'm just kidding. But I was like, what in the world? But you start to feel so much better, and it's more than just about exercise. Like, one thing that we dive into a lot, and we're going to talk about too, is personal development, and it just comes together. And so for me, it was like this big hurrah that I was like, okay, I did it. And I just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I think it was like the 6th week, I tried to like start not using the modifier, and I couldn't do it for long, but now I don't modify in any of my workouts. And it just, because I'm so much stronger. I've lost the weight, so I don't have that on my back. And I think mentally I'm just stronger. Like there's all these things that just combine together. So now I am like Jalen, where I follow the 21-day nutrition plan to a T, and then I follow, or I do other programs with it, but I will always do the nutrition plan because I'm a big believer in it as well. So, okay, so challenge groups. So as a coach, what we do is, you know, a lot of people will say to me, so I don't get it. How do you get people to join you? And it's through these challenge groups that it makes it so fun. So on Facebook, we have private groups where anyone who orders from us, we put them into this challenge group, accountability group, different names for it. And it's fun because what we do in there is we have recipes, we share prep, how to do your meal preps. It's just really motivational to keep people going and realize that, you know what, this is a journey. You do not have to be perfect, but this is just a process, and we kind of help people get over that, thinking that if they're not perfect, then they should quit, because that's not the case. I would quit a million times. Like, it's a process, it's a journey. But it's just really fun because we just cheer each other on and we check in daily. There's prizes that you can win. There's all these different things that just make it like this little group of where you get to be so close with each other, because you're experiencing and celebrating everybody's triumphs, and then the times where they fall off the wagon and they're trying to get back on. Like, it's just this big support group that turns into a lot of fun. And so that's where a lot of like how we make our money, or what we do as a coach, is through these challenge groups.
Yeah, these challenge groups are, you wouldn't understand the accountability and the motivation and support that you get until you've been a part of one. And it just makes like the network of people, it just is so incredible because everybody's on the same journey. And so you're connecting with people you've never even met in real life. So that really is where the magic happens as a coach. And the best part is it's all online. We don't have to go somewhere. We don't have to leave our babies. We can check whenever we need to in on these challenge groups. Okay, so we've kind of talked about challenge packs at the beginning. This is basically what makes Beachbody awesome, are their challenge packs. So rather than just getting a program and buying your Shakeology separately, they give you them together at a hugely discounted price. And so you buy these challenge packs, your challengers buy these challenge packs, and they're set to go. And every month they will have a couple that are on sale even more than they are at the discounted price in a challenge pack. And so right now, like we've talked about, they have 21-day fix in size, and it's $140. And that is $10 more than it costs just for Shakeology by itself. And so you end up getting a program, and you end up spending actually about the same after tax and shipping as if you would just buy one bag of Shakeology. So you get a program, and the programs come with the meal plans and the support. And so this is what we offer as coaches, is to get people to do these challenge packs, and you will have amazing results when you combine the Shakeology with the fitness programs. So that is one thing we do and we sell as a coach, are the challenge packs.
Yeah, so you've heard us mention Shakeology quite a bit. And so what is Shakeology? So for a lot of people that don't know, it's just a nutrient-dense drink. It has so many vitamins and minerals and amino acids and protein, plant proteins. And it's seriously amazing. I didn't understand what it was when I ordered the challenge pack. I just thought, oh, it's a protein shake. Great, I take those all the time anyway. And it's actually not a protein shake. There is protein in it, and quite a bit of protein, but it's so much more than that. And so I started taking it regularly every day. And the things I noticed right at first, but probably on the second week, was one, I had a lot more energy. I was one of those moms that seriously could just at 5 o'clock throw me to bed. I was so tired, and it just, I don't know, it was really hard to kind of keep going. And as I took that, I realized I wasn't having my crashes. Like, I was just having energy all day. And it wasn't like this spike of crazy, like, oh, like you get with like caffeine and stuff. It was just like, oh, this is even kill. And it's just a sustained energy. And so that was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, okay, I really like this. It didn't keep me up at night. I slept better than I'd ever slept. And then maybe this is too much information, but the other thing is it started like making me more regular. And for those who have never been regular, that's a big thing. And so, I mean, that's something I'm like, that's huge. So those were the immediate things that I noticed. But then I just continued to take it. I was very diligent. I think in the 7 months I've been coaching, I probably missed maybe like 6-7 days. That's it. I honestly can't go without it. But it was on month 3 that I just remembered that was it, because I'm like, what else had changed? And I have really severe endometriosis and female issues. And during that time, I'm extremely sick. I am doubled over and throwing up and going to the shakes. And I usually, I have to have backup. Always we're checked out of school. And even I can tell you so many times I used to work in a salon that I would just hit and I'd be down on the ground and people would have to take over for me. Like, I get deathly ill. And anyway, it was kind of a joke, because I turned to my husband and I was like, I think you need to go get a pregnancy test. And joking around, because I can't have kids. And I'm like, this is not normal. Like, this is this what other people are like? And so that was the only thing that I changed. And I'm telling you, I had tried everything. I'd had multiple surgeries. We have tried a bazillion. I won't even go into it, because I could have bought my house for what I paid of trying to find some relief. And so this was huge for me. And it, like I said, it took a couple months going into it. So now I will never quit, because having that relief, having something that I have seriously dealt with for 20 plus years, and realizing that just the food that I'm putting in, and I couldn't just make this every day to put to my system. This is way more than I could ever cook up or make in a day's time. And I'm feeling the relief that I am. Also, just another really quick, nothing I say or do is quick, but a story about Shakeology is that I have a little boy who has really, really struggled. And he was doing really great. And then he had his immunizations at 1 year, and I don't think his body agreed with it properly. I don't know. And he quit walking and talking for a while right after his immunization. And it has been a long, hard process. And he would not eat anything. Like, he would go to a point where he would, if I gave him stuff, he would hold it in his mouth and then spit it out when we weren't looking. I would find food all over. It's really kind of gross when you think about it. But we could not get anything into his system. And since the day he was born, he just, he had really horrible bowel movements where he was going probably 6 or 7 times a day. And so his little bum was constantly raw. And that was really hard as a mom. Like, we watched him go through a lot of things and trying to figure out how to help. And he's had so many testing done and so many doctor's appointments and lots of nights of me crying, trying to figure out, you know, what happened and what did I do and how can I help? And anyway, one day I was just making my shake and he ran in and asked for some. Well, he didn't really ask, he was just pointing. And so I gave him some and he downed it. And I was like, oh my gosh, if he's going to drink this, then he won't have anything else, you know, I'm going to give it to him. And so every day I started giving it to him. And anyways, it's just been really interesting because it's almost like a light switch has gone off for him. He is comprehending things so well, and he is just nonstop talking. You can't understand everything he says, but he is trying so hard, and he knows everything you're saying. And it's been really fun because I've had people that, even his early intervention people who have come up to me and said, you know, this is like, what are you doing different? And when I tell people, oh, I'm just giving him this nutrient-dense shake, they're like, keep doing it, because whatever it is, it's amazing, and we're seeing the difference. You know, when my mom's coming up to me and she's saying, it's like a total 180 with him, you know, and we go into public, and if he got scared or nervous or whatever, he'd have a full-on meltdown for 4 hours where you couldn't control him. And it's like all of that just is starting to disappear. And so the only difference that we have done is that I give him some of my Shakeology every day. And so for me, again, it's just been a no-brainer. And I know that's a really long story, but my testimony of Shakeology is huge.
Yeah, like Brianna, it's kind of something you don't really understand until you tried it. And honestly, when I started this as a coach, it came with my challenge pack, and I was like, well, this is nice. I can't afford this every month, so I'm going to enjoy this 30-day supply that I have. And I started drinking it, and I was like, I'm not sharing this with my husband anymore. And I ended up buying him a challenge pack, and I was like, oh, okay, I had no money before. In fact, I couldn't even buy my own challenge pack to sign up as a coach. My mom had to. And I just bought another challenge pack. So now I've got to like really, you know, double down and make this coaching work. And the Shakeology for me has been amazing too. There was one night where my son was sick and he couldn't breathe. And when they're little, it's scary. And so I stayed up all night, and we were selling our house at the time, and we had to go close on it. And it was in a totally different city the next day. And so I couldn't get a nap in. It wasn't an option. And so I was just like, well, I hope I can survive. I drank my Shakeology, and I was not even tired. It shocked me. I got home and I got tired at about 8 o'clock that night. But I had stayed up for more than 24 hours at this time. It was like 36, 37 hours. And my husband, who had slept the night before, was like struggling. He's like, what the heck? Like, and that for me was when I was like, this clearly has something, to do with your energy levels. And it dawned on me, it's because of all the nutrients in it. When you're properly getting your body the nutrients it needs, it's going to have energy because it's running efficiently. And then another thing that I've struggled with is I get migraines. And when I get them, it like knocks me out. And I had gotten to a point where I have a regimen that I use that usually works enough that I can cope with life. And part of that regimen was to down like as much caffeine as I could in like 10 minutes as soon as I started getting the spots from a migraine. And I hated that, especially when I was like trying to eat well. I'm not going to down a huge pop. And so I started to get a migraine and thought, well, I'll just try drinking a Shakeology, like just to see if it helps. It has all these things that are really good for inflammation. And so I did, and I was shocked because I didn't have to have a caffeine. And ever since then, I've had, 3 or 4 migraines since then. I haven't had to have caffeine anytime I drink a Shakeology. and it works. And I have a coach whose husband used to have tension headaches 3 or 4 times a week. He's drinking Shakeology and hasn't had one since. I have another coach who struggles with migraines like severely, 2 or 3 a week. And she says she can count on one hand how many times she has had one since February. So it's crazy. The ingredients are all natural, whole food, plant-based. And they have a vegan formula for those who don't want the whey protein. So it's just amazing. And it's something you've got to try to understand why there's all this hype about it. Okay, so we're going to talk about personal development for a second, because this is something that is part of coaching that Beachbody really stresses. And at first I was like, seriously, we have to do personal development? Like, those self-help books are for people who are kind of nutty. Like, they need some help, and a book ain't going to fix them. And, I didn't think it applied to me, but looking back, I definitely could have used some self-help books back then. But I did it because, my coach was like, you need to do personal development. And ever since doing that, it completely changes the way you view life. I read The Slight Edge the very first time. That was the book my coach challenged me to read, and it was amazing. I started out reading it, and there were so many good quotes in it. I'd be like, honey, you got to listen to this. And he'd be playing his Nintendo, my husband would, and I'd read him the quote, and he's like, that's really interesting. So it turned into me actually just reading the book to him. And that's when our mindset just shifted, especially when it comes to coaching. It's taught us that we can attain anything we want in this life. We just have to have the mental capacity to believe that we can. And these books are what do that. That's what gets you past the hard days. That's what gets you past, days where you're struggling and you feel like nothing is going right. These books are what help you get through that. And it continues your growth. And when you change you and you become positive and optimistic and realize that you can do anything you want in this life, personal development is the key. And I won't miss it because of that, because I'll seriously have a struggling day and I'm like, okay, I need to go do personal development. You read for 10 minutes and all of a sudden you're like, dude, it's all in my head. I can totally do this. I can do whatever is bugging me. I can do whatever. I feel like, this huge wall is there. I can climb that wall. I can do it. It's all with your mental state. And so this is something that grows you personally. And Brianna's going to talk a little bit about personal development too.
Yeah, so I was, Jalen and I, like, seriously, we're sisters in so many different ways because we're so similar. And I was like, I used to do, back in the day, right after like a really hard time in my life, I kind of dove into some personal development, and I noticed such a difference. But like, if you were to come into my house, you would see my bookshelf, and my husband's are all like military and all of these different things. And then there's mine that's like personal development and how to love yourself and how to grow strong. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a freaking head case, but I got out of it. And I joke around with my husband all the time that I am the most confident, insecure person you will ever meet. And that's just kind of our inside joke, because I am a very, I love on people, and I just, I'm a mother hen, and I like to take people in, and I'm very confident in that way. And I love to help, and I love to do all these things, but I am my worst enemy. Like, I beat myself up so bad of I'm not doing enough, and I'm not good enough, and all of these different things. And so I seriously felt like, and this sounds so crazy, like, seriously, you can be like, oh yeah, she's crazy. But I was like, I had this little, angel and devil on my shoulders all day long and saying, oh, you're a good person. No, you suck. No, you're really okay. No, you really just are horrible. And that's kind of, I battled myself all day long, and it was seriously exhausting. Like, I think I would go to bed more exhausted from my daily inner battles than anything. And a thing that changed that is when we had, oh my gosh, why am I crying? But when we adopted our little girl, I remember she was like just tiny, a couple of weeks, and she was sitting in the swing. And I remember looking at her and thinking, I do not want her to experience on a daily basis what I experience, because it's not fair. And if there's one thing I want, is for her and my boys to know how amazing they are, and to believe that, and to not have these battles, because the world is tough enough on you as it is. Like, you have to believe in you. And that was a big turning point for me. And I dove into personal development again, and it has been life-changing for me. It's kind of funny because if I skip a day, my husband will come to me and be like, did you do your personal development today? I'm like, no. Like it's so needed, and it's one of those things that you have to do it every day. And kind of interesting because we were at a family reunion last weekend, and my mom said to me, you have changed so much. It's amazing how much you've changed. And she's like, yeah, just working out and eating clean has, like, I didn't know that would help you so much with your health and everything. And I just looked at her and I started laughing. And I said, Mom, it's so much more than that. Like, it's such a bigger picture, because I said, I've worked out and ate healthy before, and my health was still horrible, and I still beat myself up. And I said, what's different this time is, one, Shakeology has helped my health immensely. I mean, I lived at the doctor's office, and knock on wood, I haven't been there in 7 months. And two, personal development has totally changed my mindset, which, I'm sorry, but what you throw out into the universe comes back to you. And what you're thinking about every day, that's what you attract. And so my mindset changed. And that was huge for me. Like, I feel like I'm becoming the best version of me. And then also sharing that with other people, being a part of a community that's bigger than just you, and they're all in this together, and they all have these huge goals. And one thing that's like constantly pushed down your throat is personal development. Like, so this coaching thing is so much bigger than what people even realize. And that's why I love it. So
yeah,
sorry, on my tangents.
No, it's great. And these are just some bullet points that we've gone over. Is it personal development helps you become the best version of you, which I think most of us are religious to some extent. And that is basically your goal in life anyway. And so this is just something that kind of helps you break it down and make sure you get it done, because life, like we've talked about, life can be hard and life can be mean and life can get busy. And so this is just something that helps you ensure that you're always becoming the best version of you. And in order to accomplish more, you need to do more. You don't need to do more. You need to become more, which I think is so true. And then lifelong personal growth journey in all aspects of your life is what personal development does. And it helps you not, you can't be, like we've talked about and Brianna talked about, what you think and feel and put out in the universe comes back to you. And so you can't be this negative person who hates life and hates people and expect like loving and positivity and all that to surround you. And when you're unhappy mentally, you're unhappy in every area of your life. It affects your relationships. And so personal development is just something that will change your life. And so it's something we focus on every day as a coach.
Okay, so how do you earn money as a coach? So there's a couple of ways, and I'm going to touch base on the first one, and that is just by commission retail sales. So like if somebody orders Shakeology from you, or a challenge pack, or a workout program, anything that they can order from your website, you receive 25% commission on that. And we always say that, like, how many lives you change, because it's not like, oh, you're making a sell. It's how many lives are you changing by getting them involved in health and fitness and showing them how to change their lives and getting them involved in the challenge groups and everything like that, because it's more of just selling a workout video or selling protein bars or whatever it may be, or Shakeology. Like, there's so much more to this than just a sell on your website. Like, it's how many lives are you changing? And then I have this quote, I'm going to read it if I can open my phone. But one of the things that I love that I saw a couple of days ago, one of my friends posted, but she said, the great thing about this business is, of course, as soon as I started, it goes off. The great thing about this business is it doesn't play favorites. It pays those who work for it consistently. And so, Jalen's going to talk about that in just a second, but you want to inspire people, and you want somebody, like this quote says, I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. And I think that's why I love this business, is there's so many stories. There's so many people have incredible stories. And when you sit and you talk to them, you're like, why do you want to start this journey? and they start opening up to you and they start telling you why, I am seriously like moved to tears so many times and going, Kay, you need to do this for you, you know, and to be there for them and to not let them quit when they want to. And being a coach, like that's what I love, is I'm not going to quit because I have too many people relying on me, too many people that are looking up to me saying, okay, you're not quitting, I can't quit. And it's just like this revolving circle, you know, that's amazing. So anyway, your income will be a direct reflection of the number of lives that you change. And that is why this job is so rewarding, is because you get to see physically and emotionally, mentally see people change their lives for the better.
Okay. So on top of the retail commission, you can make team bonuses. Now these bonuses are just as a result of you signing up coaches who want to change lives, and them signing up coaches who want to change lives, and them selling to challengers who want to change their lives. And so you end up just growing a team and earning money besides the retail. And that's where the bulk of your money at the end, like when you first start, most of your money will come from retail because you haven't built your team yet. And then it slowly is going to get replaced by this team bonus. And we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But so when you're building your team, you want to build people with like-minded, you know, I don't know, they just want to be like-minded. You don't want them a negative Nelly. You don't want someone who hates life. And you want to build your team full of people who inspire you and motivate you and push you. And that's who you usually end up getting anyway, because you get challengers. And these challengers end up having their lives changed, and they want to work with you, and they're already inspiring people. And so it usually comes out that your team is full of the same type of person you are. So if you're a go-getter and you're happy and you're positive and you're fun, those are the type of people that you'll get. And you teach others to help people as a team. We're all in it together. We're not competing against each other. We're here to help people. And that's what I love about this business, is they're not even focused on the bottom line. It's about helping people. You enjoy team cycle bonuses that we talked about earlier, and quarterly bonuses as you rank advance. These are all things that you will learn as you become a coach. So it's not something you need to know now, but just the possibility. You have fun encouraging and inspiring others to succeed. And seriously, this is what got me out of my deep, dark funk that I was in, because I just was lost. And this is what kind of pulled me out of that, was becoming a coach. And you help others reach financial freedom. And I cannot even tell you the blessing that's already been for our family because of where we were. And we're going to kind of talk about the financial stuff in a second, but it's amazing what this company offers and the opportunities you have to change your life on every single level.
Okay, so one of the things too about Beachbody is they offer team trips. So, and they're trips that you're able to earn without putting any money on yourself if you earn enough. So like they have a trip to Jamaica that's in March. Is it March, Jalen?
Yeah.
And so how you earn that is when you get Success Club every month, you get so much money that is being contributed to your trip. And so right now I will not be paying for anything on my trip. And so that is so awesome, is it's like, you know what? I get to go on a cruise with my husband and have
And it pays for your husband too. It's not just you. They pay for one person extra.
One person extra. So like my husband's going to go with me, and we're going to go for nothing, you know, just because I'm doing what I love and I'm, you know, helping others. Summit in Nashville, we just came back from that, and amazing.
Yeah.
It was so awesome for so many reasons, but one of them was that, you know, we have this big team and we sit in these groups and we chat and we talk and we help each other implement ideas, cheer each other on. And then we went to Nashville and we got to meet each other face to face, because we're from all over the US and Canada. And so we were able to sit and like really hug on each other and get to know each other better. And it was awesome. And definitely a life-changing thing for me. And what I loved, and this was just another like aha moment of I'm doing the right thing with the right company, was, you know, you think you go to these conventions, and because I've been to plenty, I've been to so many conventions for different things that I've done in my careers in life. And, you know, a lot of them, they just rally up to go sell and all these things. And that was not what this convention was about. It was about bettering yourself and how to help others find the best version of themselves and how to give more. And one of my favorite speakers was Shailene, and she came out and talked about how important relationships are in your life, and that the most important relationship is the one with your spouse, and how to make your marriage the best it can be. And I just sat there and I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is the company I work for, that they have the same core values that I have. Like, that's amazing. And so again, it was awesome. And each one of these, the leadership retreat to San Diego, you can earn, and they pay for it depending on how successful you are with the business. And it's actually not hard to hit them. It's very simple to hit each one of these to earn these trips.
Yeah. Okay, and so what you get when you sign up as a coach, you get the best fit fam ever. And I used to think, so cheesy, for real. Like, I didn't realize how negative I was, I guess, until I did all this. And I'm like, it's so true. And when we went to Nashville and we met these people we've interacted with, like, all of a sudden I'm like, they are like family. Like, you end up like just constantly texting them. They become your best friends, and you have one common goal, and, well, not just one, but lots. And it's so awesome because you're surrounded by like-minded people. So that's why we're the best fit fam ever, and we really are. So I need to own my negativity that I used to think that was cheesy, but I love it now. So you get a personalized website, and that's what this will kind of look like as far as like your back office. Your personalized website is where people will go to order through you. And the awesome thing is you don't have to inventory or stock anything. And so when people order through you, Beachbody puts their kit together and sends it to them. You don't have to deal with any inventory. And so you'll have your personalized website that they order through. And then Beachbody will just pay you weekly, which is awesome, by the way, directly into your bank account. And so you'll have that website, and then you'll have this coach online office that looks like this, which is where you'll go and see who's placed orders and see your commission and see your volume and your team. And this is just where you see everything that's going on. You'll have marketing tools in this back office, and you'll have training, which we'll talk about more about training, but there's training that Beachbody does right here in this tab. And we have specific training from our coach, is Micah, and she put together a training website, and she is the top 8th coach out of the entire company, which has over 300,000 coaches now. So she knows what she's doing, and so she's put together a training website to help us know how to do what we do and be successful without being icky, slimy, gross salespeople. And then you have personal development resources, and like I mentioned earlier, you get paid weekly.
Okay, so Jalen talked a little bit about it, of the Inspiration Dream Team training site that we have access to. That's Micah's website, that anyone who signs up underneath us as a coach has access to that. You have one-on-one mentorship from your sponsor coach. So, if you sign up under me, or you sign up under Jalen, or whoever introduced you to this video, invited you to this video, like, you would sign up under them, and they are your sponsor coach. And so you have one-on-one access to them at all times, saying, help me with this, and how do I do this? And, like, you're never alone. Diamond coach training from top coaches. So every so often we have also like more advanced training. In other words, you have so much training at your fingertips that you can take in as much or as little as you want, and depending on how fast or how slow you want to run with this business, but it's always available. And then advanced leadership training. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And I think that is the one thing about coaching too, is when you get involved, it's not this, oh, I'm just posting out there because I need to. You love so much what you're doing that you just can't help but share. Share the changes that you're making. Share the changes that other people are making. And so, like, your actions do start to inspire others because you've been inspired, because you've changed, because you're learning. And it's like, you just want to share that. That's also what this business is about so much, is just helping others and sharing as much as you can. So anyways, about the training, again, you have access to so much that you will never be left alone when you start out.
Yes.
2 years down the road.
It's awesome because you don't have to figure this out. You don't have to like try and pave the path to success. It's already been paved. You just have to follow the training, and we have tons of it, and it's awesome.
And one thing on that too is like when she's saying you don't have to like reinvent the wheel, you don't, because if something's not working, it's because you're trying to reinvent the wheel. You're not doing what the training's saying. So that's what's so awesome about it, is that the training is just, it's there for you and it works. So, okay, income potential. So this is like the part you're like, okay, just shut up, you two, talk to me about what my potential is. Okay, so these are different coaches that are in, that we know. And these aren't even the top coaches as far as income comes. Like, this is just random coaches that we have. And so I guess why I'm saying that is because a lot of times people will pick out like their coaches that are making the most ever in the business and saying, hey, this is your potential, like this is what you can do, and that's great, but these are average incomes. And that's what I loved, is it's like, okay, so Tara's weekly progression. So her first week as a coach, she made 180. So usually that's from retail. And within 4 months, she made 550, 8 months, 982, and 19 months, this 3,167. And then that is weekly. That's what she was making weekly, is those numbers. And so as you can see, as she's going up, it's more than just the retail sale. It's also the volume and everything that Jalen talked about. Great part about this is she was working this part-time because she was a full-time school teacher. Or was she a part-time school teacher?
She did like 3/4 time. She was doing, I think, 30 hours a week.
Okay. So she was working another job and doing Beachbody. And then once she was able to replace her income of teaching, she retired from teaching and has been doing coaching full-time ever since. But I mean, if you think about it, what other job advances you like this job can, you know, from hard work? And in 19 months, she's making that kind of money in 1 week. So
right. Yeah. So the potential we want you to see with all these different, we're going to show you several. We want you to realize that there's so many different ways to build this business. You can go the slow boat track and do it like just kind of as a hobby coach and here and there, or you can dive right in and do it like Micah, which is, she's our direct sponsor coach, and she went crazy. And this is not typical, so we don't need to think like this is just what's going to happen. She went nuts and she worked for it. This isn't something she just had fall into her lap. She just hit her 2-year mark this month, actually. So she's only been doing it for 2 years. Her first week as a coach, she made $234. At 4 months, one of the weeks was $1,126. And at 8 months, it was $2,400, almost $2,500. And at 20 months, it was $5,600 a week. So the potential is huge, and it's whatever you decide to do. And so now we're going to talk about another upline coach who isn't even a top coach in the company as far as actively building her team. She has built it so much, she can kind of sit back and just watch it. And so Brianna's going to talk about this.
Okay, Mindy Winder, and I actually love her because it just, to me, this seems so much more realistic as far as numbers went. For me, she did her first year, she had $1,000 week. And then as you can see, week 2 or year 2, 3,000, year 3, 5,000, and year 4, $20,000 a week. But what I love so much about this is it's just showing commitment, time, and consistency equals her success. And so it wasn't like she just said, oh, I'm only making, you know, on 7 months, I'm only making $500 a week, I'm done, you know, or whatever it may be. Like, she just kept sticking with it. And now 4 years later, she's able to bring in that kind of income for her family. And so it's being consistent. It's saying, you know what, I'm in this for the long haul because the time is going to pass anyway. So why not just keep building this? Why not, you know, I'm going to take Shakeology and work out anyway. So why not just keep moving forward with this and make this business happen for me? And you know, I think that's why I love it. She does an amazing job. She's an amazing coach, and hers wasn't like this fast progression, but it can show you that in such a short amount of time. Like, you think about it, 4 years, Like my son just turned 6 the other day, and I'm like, man, that sped by. So 4 years to be able to bring in that kind of income, you know, it makes sense to just be consistent with it and jump in.
Especially, sorry, keep going.
Oh, I was just going to say, especially if health and fitness is your passion and helping others. Like, why would you not? So.
Exactly. You're going to do it anyway. If you're going to live this lifestyle, why not be a coach? Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're going to show you ours. I started in January, and my first week, actually first 2 weeks, I made $420, and I was shocked because like I said, I was at the heaviest point in my life, and I had people just jumping on because they understood how I felt, and I was just sharing my journey. And, you know, I was sick of where I was, and I was going to make a difference, and people just jumped on, and my team slowly started to build, and I advanced to diamond rank in April, which was like my 4th month, so it's not on here, but that's when I really started my income to see it progress. Was the difference in where it jumped between month 3 and month 5 and even this month is because of my team building and finding coaches who are building coaches. And so that's where you're seeing the income progression. I actually have sold less challenge packs this month in month 6 than I did the first month. And so all of that difference is because of my team growth. And so this is what happens when you decide to, you know, just go full force, and you're going to share, and you're going to bring on people who want to share. And so I went from $420 my first month in January to this month we've made $25.75, which is, I still can't rack my brain around that, because I messaged Micah originally and said, I need to make $500 a month. Do you think this is possible? And now I laugh, because I mean, that's why I pushed myself. I had to reach $500 a month, and I'll tell you that I did, because I knew it was something I needed to do. And I have made about $500 every single month, and then it just has gone up continually, and it's been like a huge, enormous blessing, like huge.
Hey, perfect. So with mine, I started, that was in the first 2 weeks, so it was $300. And then I jumped up quite a bit in my 3rd month because I was just hustling. And then, you know, I'm going to be really honest, I had kind of a slow down. I let excuses kind of get in the way. I am been a single mom during the week. My husband worked out of town during the week, and 3 young kids, and I was just tired, and I kind of made some excuses of I'm not going to make this work, and my income dropped a little bit. And after that, I was like, oh no, you know what? I felt the difference. I felt the difference mentally, physically, emotionally, of stepping back, and I'm like, I don't want to feel that way. I dove into this because I wanted something different. I wanted to feel different. I wanted to be different. And so I dove back into it. And then, of course, you can see in just the short amount of time, my income is progressing quite rapidly again. And so I'm excited to see where it's going to continue to increase to every month. And it was just kind of fun because this last month, we were able to pay, like what I made was able to pay our mortgage. And that was really like a wow moment for me. And then we just actually closed on our home. And so everything I'm bringing in is going to pay off our credit cards. And it's like, what a blessing for our family that, you know, I wanted nothing more than to be home with my babies and to see them grow up and to take that opportunity. And we knew that by me doing so, we would have a different lifestyle. We would have to cut back on different things, and we were okay doing that because that's where we felt I needed to be. And now when I sit back and I'm looking at just, you know, the income that's coming in and stuff, like I'm with them all day long and I want that, but I want to break too sometimes, but I love it. And I'm still able to bring in this kind of income. And like I said, I know it's just going to continue to increase. Like the more my team builds and the more and just as committed as I am right now to keep moving forward. And so it's honestly, what a blessing. Like, what a blessing for our family that as moms that we can sit back and say, you know what, we're covering our mortgage or our grocery bill or whatever it may be. So
yeah, I remember when I got just that first paycheck, it was like freedom. Like I felt amazing. And every time I saw a challenge pack, I was like, oh my gosh, $40. Like, we went on a date a couple months ago, which hasn't happened for years because of having a ton of little kids, and we didn't have a babysitter, and we got a babysitter finally. That is awesome. And we went on a date to a Japanese steakhouse, which we have never been to before. And I remember like the bill was $80, and well, the bill with paying the babysitter. And I remember thinking that was awesome, instead of, oh my gosh, what did we just do? Like $80. But for the first time ever, we had a cushion to go do that and to live. And I'm so excited because we pulled my daughter out of gymnastics because we couldn't afford it. And she's been begging to go back since, and we can. And so this fall, we're enrolling all of our kids in these extracurricular activities that we've never been able to afford. So the possibilities of this income is what like pushed me over the edge of wanting to become a coach. I knew I needed it for lots of reasons, but knowing that I could make a difference in our financial position and to not just be on my husband's salary for the rest of our lives, like done deal, sign me up. And I did. Okay, so what we're looking for, we want motivated people who want to change their lives and help others change theirs. We want someone who's passionate and just like dives in and is not ashamed of what they believe and who they are. We want someone who is a team player, not someone who's, looking to compete. We don't compete. We are a team. We're all in this together. We all help each other, and that's what's awesome. And we want people who want to have fun, because that's what we do, and your life will just be hugely blessed.
Me. Like you. We want people who like set big goals and they just want to crush those. Because for me, that's so fun when you get a team or a coach on your team and you're saying, what are your goals? And they sit there and they tell you, and then they crush those goals in like a month's time or a few months' time. You're just like, holy cow, like it's so fun and invigorating. So they love helping people. This business is truly about helping people. Like if you don't love helping people, then I got to be honest, this business probably isn't for you. Yeah. But if you love to help people, this is the best business, because that's what you're constantly doing. Like my phone and will have text messages or my chat of, just different questions from challengers. And I love it because I'm able to help them reach their goals. And the most rewarding thing too is when you get a text in the morning, you wake up to a text saying, guess what? I just got on the scale and I'm down 10 pounds. Or someone saying, you know what? I have not felt this good in years, emotionally or whatever it may be. And it's just, you have to have that passion to love helping people. You have to be a leader. You got to take the initiative and say, you know what? I want to make this business work, and I'm going to take this and run with it and dive into all of the different things that are offered to you. Being a leader is huge for this. And then a freedom seeker. What are you looking for? What's your freedom? Is it to have more time? Is it financial freedom? There's so many different ways of finding that freedom that's for you. And when you know what that is and you're able to do or dive into whatever it is to make that happen, then those are the ones that are really successful with this business.
Yeah. Okay, so why be a coach? To get in the best shape of your life. Hello, like so awesome, like motivation to get there and to not stop. And that was seriously, I signed up as a coach without being a challenger first because I knew, hi, just a second. Let's get back into this, yeah? Okay. I knew that I needed the accountability of being a coach to help me push and to get to where I wanted and knew I needed to be. And I finally feel like me again. A permanent accountability and workout for a job. And like I mentioned, that's why I did this. And it's awesome. You can't tell your team and your challengers to like not be fat and lazy if you're fat and lazy. So like you have to be doing this. And that's why I love it. And hello, you get a 25% discount on all of Beachbody products, including Shakeology, all of the workout programs, their supplements. So it's awesome. Travel and incentive trips that we've already talked about. You get to design your hours and live life how you want. You can set your work hours in the morning before the kids are awake or after they're in bed, and you completely control all hours of this job. The financial freedom that we've talked about, that is possible. I know that, Micah, that we've talked about, Her husband was in vet school at the time, 2 years ago. She was like in the middle of vet school, and they were going to graduate with over $100,000 in school loans, and they graduated vet school with zero debt. So the potential is huge to get, financial freedom, and that is a huge thing for me. Is I felt like we were stuck in a deep, dark hole, and we are finally able to crawl out, and it is so refreshing to feel that. And then you get to find your passion and live life with a purpose.
Okay, so how do you get started? You can order a challenge pack, and when you order a challenge pack, they have a $40 coach fee, but that is waived at that time of sign up. So you won't have to pay that. If you've already ordered a challenge pack and you are already a challenger, then you can still sign up and get the $40 waived, and you'll just contact your coach and ask them how to make that happen. It's $39 if you don't want to buy a challenge pack, which don't know why you wouldn't, because you need the product. So it only makes sense. But you can pay the $39 to join, and you get your business startup kit and then your first month of Shakeology at a 25% discount. But honestly,
that's the same cost as a challenge pack.
Yeah, it's actually more.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to go with the challenge pack and get the workout program with it. And then starting the second month, you are charged $15.95 a month for your maintenance and website. You guys, so worth it. Like, I have some people say, well, do I have to not pay that? No, you have to pay that, because what that does is it's your website so that people can go in and order from you. And then you don't have to take care of any of having product on hand and shipping it out or anything, none of that. It's all done for you for $16 a month, best investment ever. And then if you decide that you want to cancel, which I don't know why you would do that, you just email and say, guess what, I'm done. And so it's a really simple way to do it. But honestly, once you get started and you see the benefits of Shakeology and all of these different things, I really don't know why anyone cancels or would want to cancel. And then, so if you are in the military, you get your sign up and monthly coach fee waived. Yay! I love that. I love that they have so much respect for our veterans and those in the military to do that, because that's a big thing and just a way of saying thank you for serving our country. So I guess the big question is, why would you not want to do this? Honestly, it is amazing. And it has been life-changing. You've heard our stories. We've talked way too much about them, but you can tell that we're passionate about it. We love it. It's been a blessing in my life, and I know Jalen feels the exact same way. And it's just when you have this kind of a community and this kind of a business that just pushes you to be better, and it's more than just about a product, it makes so much sense that this is such an amazing company and business. So
yep. Okay, so like Brianna said, we're happy you guys have joined us. We want you to contact the coach that sent you here if you have any questions, and if you want to get started, let's do this. You will not regret it. You will regret if you sit around and wait, though, I can promise you that. So I watched my coach for 1.5 years. Awesome, totally kicking myself, and I know that Brianna was in the same boat. We started about the same time, and we totally kick ourselves because we wish we had jumped on earlier. We had no idea how much this would change our lives. So we want you guys to just let us know if you have any questions and contact the coach who sent you here, and we will get you guys started.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya.